The secret god of the Roman emperors, his influence on modern power? Deep within the majestic structures of the Roman Empire, among the imposing forums and temples, lies a mystery almost forgotten by time. In a world where emperors were considered almost divine, there existed a secret god, one that few spoke of in public, but who could have defined the history of humanity in unexpected ways. Was this god a symbol of control, a ritual of power, or a mythological figure who gave emperors the legitimacy to rule? And, most disturbingly, could this unknown god still influence leaders and power structures in the modern world? Join us as we unravel this mystery, piecing together fragments of history, myth, and contemporary reality to uncover an unsuspected connection between antiquity and the present. Dear time travelers and lovers of eternal stories, I am Messalina, and I have a little secret for you. The gods reward those who support their favorite storytellers. If this corner of myths, legends, and mysteries has sparked your curiosity, I invite you to follow my channel and activate the bell so you don't miss a single trip through time. And if you want this legacy to grow and continue exploring together the greatness of Rome and beyond, you can leave your offering on PayPal or Patreon. The links are in the description, because even the gods know that any help allows for the forging of eternal works. I promise you that if you do, the gods will bring you peace, prosperity, and perhaps a little touch of fate. Your gestures do not go unnoticed, and my gratitude will be as infinite as time itself. More than 2,000 years ago, Rome emerged as one of the most powerful civilizations of all time. Its dominion expanded not only territorially, conquering continents, but also spiritually, with its worship of numerous gods and elaborate religious ceremonies. While the Roman people worshipped gods such as Jupiter, Venus, and Mars in great temples, the emperors had their own secrets. Between banquets and wars, some ancient texts hint at the existence of an exclusive cult, a god reserved only for the ruling elite. This was not a god for the people, but for the most powerful men, those who decided the fate of entire nations. How deeply was this god linked to leadership? And, moreover, why was his secret so closely guarded? To understand this ancient mystery, we need to delve into the vestiges of historical accounts and the customs of Roman rulers. Emperors were seen as figures apart from the common people, almost closer to gods than to men. It was logical that they sought to reinforce this divine image with mystical power. Some historians suggest that Roman emperors turned to a secret cult as a way of cementing their authority. It was a means of connecting with a higher power that would validate their actions in the eyes of their subjects and enemies. Rumors spoke of a god shrouded in shadow, summoned in private rituals, perhaps at altars built deep within the imperial residences. But who was this god? Was he an existing deity in the Roman pantheon or an invention unique to the emperors? Among the figures most associated with this enigma is Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. His reign was filled with religious symbols, and he proclaimed himself son of the divine Julius Caesar. However, some suggested that his private ceremonies concealed something more than veneration of traditional gods. Human power has always coexisted with spirituality. From ancient times to the present day, leaders have used the idea of a link with the divine as a strategy to justify their authority. Rome was no exception. By adopting this private cult, emperors not only consolidated their status, but also protected their power, marking a boundary between themselves and other mortals. And yet, this practice went beyond politics. Some believe that the connection to this god was not merely symbolic, but a source of psychological strength. Facing the immense pressures of leading an empire required an unwavering faith in a higher purpose. What better way to create that faith than to devote oneself to a secret deity, known only to those at the pinnacle of power? The unofficial cult of the emperors raised a crucial question: did they sincerely believe in this god, or was it an elaborate trick of manipulation? We may never know the full answer, but what is clear is that this practice defined Rome's imperial image. With the fall of the Roman Empire in 476 AD, Rome's influence did not disappear overnight. Many of its political systems, traditions and symbols survived, slowly becoming integrated into the structures of medieval and Renaissance European power. Much of this transition occurred under the cloak of Christianity, whose rise to the official religion of the empire in the 4th century transformed Roman spirituality. But this did not mean that all previous traditions were forgotten. In fact, some occult practices persisted, camouflaged in the new religious order. For example, private ceremonies performed by European popes or kings. Could these rituals be echoes of the secret procedures of the Roman emperors? And better yet, are there signs of this unknown god surviving in the powerful societies we know today? The transition from ancient to modern is a blurry line. Although centuries have passed, the structures created by Rome remain the foundation of many modern governments. From legal systems to symbols of power such as crowns, seats of authority and emblems, their imprint is unmistakable. The real mystery lies in the more subtle practices, closed-door meetings, initiation rituals in elite communities, or the use of arcane symbols in global institutions. All of this makes us wonder, could the influence of the secret god of the Roman emperors have reached the present day? Are today's world leaders unwitting bearers of these ancient traditions? More disturbingly, some theories suggest that certain leaders may be consciously using the teachings of this hidden past. Could there be a deeper purpose behind the persistence of these ancient practices? Interestingly, Rome was not alone in its association between spirituality and power. Throughout human history, numerous cultures have combined religion with leadership, from the Egyptian pharaohs who were considered living gods to the Chinese emperors who ruled under the mandate of heaven. If these patterns are so common, we might wonder whether Rome was just one piece in a global puzzle. Perhaps this secret god, beyond being a unique figure, represents a universal archetype, the human need to seek legitimacy in a higher order. Here lies the biggest puzzle. What if this god really continues to influence modern power, not as a spiritual figure per se, but as a hidden principle in the psyche of leadership? Ideas of secrecy, divinity, and authority continue to shape our society, perhaps in more subtle and dangerous ways than we imagine. Could it be that someone, somewhere, still invokes the forgotten god of the Roman emperors? Could this be a symbol that the elites use to perpetuate their control, consciously or unconsciously, over the rest? The mystery of the secret god of the Roman emperors leaves us with more questions than answers. From the hidden ceremonies of ancient Rome to the way modern leaders wield power, the connections are as intriguing as they are disturbing. What really persists is the human fascination with the mystical. Whether as a tool of power or a way to make sense of the unknown, this forgotten god could be a reflection of something much deeper, our eternal quest to understand and control the order of the world. As the shadows of Rome continue to loom large over our present, we may never know the full truth. But one thing is certain, the echoes of that distant past still resonate, albeit in ways we can barely recognize. Are we still under the shadow of a secret god? The answer, if it exists, may be closer than we think.